Okay, I've got this ZP3 here on the bench. We're going to tube it up and test it. Start with 12AX7s. This is what we call the front. This one is also a 12AX7. This last one is a 12AU7. That acts as the buffer for the output stage. This next tube is a 5U4. It can look like that. It could look like that. It could even be a 5Y3 and look a little smaller. A 5U4 can also look like that. The rectifier is used to convert AC into DC. So that's where the high voltage comes from that operates all the tubes. This tube here is the OA3, also known as a VR75. It's a voltage regulator tube. It can also look like this. Either one works the same. These don't get hot. The way they operate is when you turn the unit on and the high voltage starts. There's nothing to use the high voltage because these tubes haven't warmed up yet. Once these tubes warm up from the heaters, the part that you see glowing, they'll begin to conduct current, and that'll make the OA3 start. Alright, we're going to turn it on. And wait for the tubes to light up. Alright, let's hook it up here. This is the cables that are going to your preamp or your amplifier. They'll connect to the outputs of the ZP3. The output jacks are the two that are closest to the outside. That's how you remember. Output jacks, outside. Red is right, white is left. So there, the output is connected and it goes to the preamp. Or in some cases the amplifier if it has a volume control. These are the inputs from the tone arm. They go on the input jacks, which are right here. And then this right here is the ground post for the ground wire from your tone arm or your turntable plinth, or both, or neither. Some tables don't have one. So if your table has a ground wire, it goes here. Okay, so now that we have it hooked up, we're going to test it while it's here on the bench. And as you can see, it's already sweeping. Both channels are the same. The harmonic distortion is super low, 0.1, 0.2. So what we can do is set it to peak hold so we can see a a line develop to show the frequency response. That's the sacred curve that makes records work. And it shows us that this phono stage is in good working order. Channel balance is exact. Everything is working fine. Beautiful, no problems. So let's turn it off and see what that looks like. The reason I want to show you this is because when you turn this unit off, the OA3 is going to flicker on and off several times. Sometimes it'll do it in rapid succession, 8, 10, 20 times. Sometimes it'll just flicker 4 or 5 times. It completely depends on how warmed up the unit was and a few other variables. So let's try it again here. See how it flickered when it came on? That's normal. And then we'll turn it off. So that's normal operation. That's it's an OA3. It's a vacuum regulator tube. They don't get hot. When you see them glow, that means that it's conducting from the cathode to the anode and passing current and voltage. And so that's it. It's a good working unit, and that's how they operate.